A lot of people really don't like Midsommar, the 2019 film written and directed by Ari Aster and distributed by A24. The film is largely about Danny, played by the amazing Florence Pugh, who has just experienced a tragic loss and is still reeling from it months later. She's struggling to come to terms with what's happened while also in an unhappy relationship with her boyfriend Christian, who actually planned to break up with her just prior to the family's tragedy but couldn't commit to the idea. Danny tags along with Christian and a group of his classmates to Sweden to attend the summer solstice festival at the village of one such classmate. Things start to go terribly wrong. It turns out the festival is hosted by a bunch of cultists, and the college students start getting deleted faster than my copy of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It's a divisive movie. It left a lot of people frustrated and confused, even angry, and a lot of you wrongfully decided it must be labeled as a bad movie. And you're all mistaken. So here's why. Garbage, pure tripe. Talk about a 100% waste of money. This was one of those horror movies that has a great setup and literally no logical or movie logic to hold it together. Don't bother, really. Okay, we're kicking things off with a bang because Midsommar is not a horror movie. It has horrific elements, there's a palpable and wonderful sense of dread and tension throughout the movie, but much like the facade of peace and harmony the cult in the movie presents, this movie is not what it appears to be on the surface. It's actually a twisted fable, like the ones told to kids for most of recorded human history. The screenplay is very tightly written with that in mind, with characters that have clear motivations and personalities, and a plot that follows through organically to a conclusion that, while shocking and dark, is almost totally laid out for the audience in clear, oftentimes deliberately obvious ways. A bunch of asshole college kids go visit a Swedish cult called the Harga, they all start acting like fools, and they get sent on a second vacation straight to the afterlife. I don't know what's more logical than that. This movie feels like it's 2 hours and 25 minutes. Cool visually, but the story is basically non-existent, and every time you think it's about to go somewhere interesting, it doesn't. You only remember one or two scenes. Okay, most arguments I've seen against this movie is that it has no plot, and this comes largely from people who insist on viewing it as a horror movie. I'm sorry, but as someone who has loved horror movies for most of my life, if you can show me one with the plot and depth that these people are apparently hungry for, I will buy you a beer. But what I love about this movie and what I love about Ari Aster as a writer and a director is that he is deliberately baiting and switching the audience right from the get-go. The biggest complaint about Midsommar is that it's boring or it takes too long for a horror movie, and I can't stress enough how much Midsommar is not a horror movie. And the story this person claims is not existent is actually all wonderful character development and justification for the dirt naps these shithead college kids all end up taking. To say that the movie makes you think it's going somewhere interesting but never does is absurd. This movie throws you for a loop constantly and shocks the hell out of you by one-upping itself with something wild or terribly violent. Not only that, but the movie is full of subliminal visuals, a delightful sense of terror that just keeps building until the end, and all kinds of dark, twisted humor and laugh-out-loud moments.
I think I ate one of her pubic hairs.
Sounds probably right.
I don't know what in the world was going on in this movie. It was simply terrible. The messaging and morals present were all backwards, rewarding and punishing the wrong people. Okay, let's get into this one in depth. Whether you want to call this movie horror or not, a lot of people's biggest gripes with movies like this is that the morals are bad and the wrong people get killed. It largely depends on the type of movie you're watching, but this is entirely inaccurate for Midsommar. The victims in this movie are flawed in some fatal way, and in true classic fable fashion, they're punished for it. Mark, played by the excellent Will Poulter, is killed and his face is removed because there was nothing behind it. He was thoughtless, rude, careless, and oblivious, and pays the price for not paying attention or heed to anything and having no regard for such things as the sacred tree he peed on.
I gotta go take a leak.
He's empty, but with a twisted sense of irony, he becomes a human piñata and is finally filled with substance. I'm sure that substance is kindling for a sacrificial fire, but hey. Then there's Josh, played by the fantastic William Jackson Harper, whose desire for knowledge that he can use for his own goals drives him to violate the Hargis temple, open up their sacred text, and take photos of it for his college thesis. He's murked with a smack to the head as retribution for the knowledge he tried to steal, and is buried in a garden with the secrets that the Harga themselves don't want unearthed. Christian, Danny's boyfriend, and played hilariously by Jack Rayner, is paralyzed and his legs are cut off as a metaphor for his own lack of motivation and drive. He can't bring himself to break up with Danny and hurts her constantly with his lack of empathy. He can't find his own way academically and he tries to steal Josh's thesis, wrecking their friendship. He pays the price for his own stagnation and inability to move forward by getting turned into the worst Build-A-Bear you've ever seen.
Honestly, into this exact second, I thought you were Build-A-Bear.
Maybe I am.
And having to watch paralyzed as death slowly comes to him. The Harga, the Swedish cultists, are a powerful storytelling device to punish these people in the fashion of ancient fables. The punishments are brutal and horrifying, but that's the point. Dudes, we all grew up in the Disney versions of fables where everything ends happily and everybody gets married and but the original versions of the stories that Disney lifted usually end in terrible tragedy and death. But the end result is usually the same. Scaring the out of children to make them not grow up to be dicks. And here's the kicker. All of this is by design from the very beginning of the film. The classmate who's from the village, the one who brings everybody on the trip in the first place. Big spoiler alert here. He's had his eye on Danny as a potential marriage partner from the start. He manipulates her throughout the movie to isolate her and takes advantage of her emotional state to give her a false sense of belonging in his cult. By the end of the film, each of her friends are picked off one by one and she's left alone. Reluctant at first, but then gradually accepting that she could have a family and a purpose with these backwards-ass Swedish people in this village in the middle of nowhere. Ari Aster must absolutely be in on the joke, giggling gleefully as audiences fail to pay attention and almost intentionally misinterpret this film. Terrible movie, nothing like the previews and totally inappropriate. Should have had a warning label for parents. Bro, did you take your kid to see Midsommar? Did you and your kid stay in the theater after the triple unaliving happens before the opening credits? Or did you stick around for the entire thing? Hang on, this is messing me up. Okay, let's take a look at the preview for Midsommar and see if this person is right or not.
I told you that I want to go to that festival in Sweden.
No, you said it would be cool to go.
Yeah, and then I got the opportunity and I decided
Look,
to
I
do
don't mind
it.
you going. I just wish you would have told me, that's all.
Dude, she needs a therapist. You've been wanting out of this stupid relationship for like a year now.
And don't forget about all of the beautiful Swedish women you'll meet in June.
Okay, guys.
That's not her again. Seriously?
Babe, what's happening? Danny.
I was so very sorry to hear about what happened.
I'm sorry.
I invited Danny to come to Sweden.
You know what she's been going through.
Christian says you've got this special week planned.
It's sort of a crazy festival. Special ceremonies and dressing up.
That sounds fun.
Unbelievable.
Welcome and happy Midsummer. Skål!
What time is it?
9 p.m.
That can't be right. The sky is blue.
This is what 9 p.m. is like here.
How long have you two been together?
Just over 3.5 years.
4 years.
Really?
Yeah?
What do you think?
It's like another world.
Tomorrow's a big day.
Is it scary?
What is it?
It has special properties.
What am I going through?
We just need to acclimate.
I don't want to acclimate. I want to go.
Absolutely not.
What's happening? I don't know why you invited us.
That's why you look so guilty right now, because you know.
We only do this every 90 years. I was most excited for you to come.
This trailer is chock full of dread, creepy cultists, flashes of blood and gore, and people screaming. And it tells you it's from the director of Hereditary, a movie whose inciting incident is a child hitting a home run using her head in a telephone pole. What part of this trailer told you it would be appropriate for children? And what child would be interested in whatever movie you thought this trailer was conveying? And are you not familiar with the movie rating system that most of the developed world employs to easily and clearly tell you about the contents in a film? Look, Ari Aster's Midsommar is a wonderful, terrifying, darkly hilarious, and shocking film. It's obviously not for everybody, as is the case with virtually any movie, but approaching it with the right mindset and being open to the idea of the story that Aster is telling will reward you in spades. And if nothing else, the care and attention to detail in the film and the very deliberate way the story is told visually is nothing short of brilliant. It speaks to a keen understanding of film and storytelling that is wildly impressive for having only been Ari Aster's second feature film. I hope that you'll rewatch Midsommar with all this in mind and hopefully not watch it wrong the next time. Special thanks to the patrons here at Space Castle and to you for letting me poke fun at some of you and for letting me talk about a movie I really love. As a Swede, it was just very bizarre. I guess that was the intention. Boring, it's all over the place in a way, absolutely not thrilling or unsettling in any way. As someone that does celebrate Midsommar, it was just very weird. The creators have never claimed it to be true to the real holiday, it just feels wrong. Can't really describe my feelings toward it in a good way. Can easily tell it was not filmed in Sweden, therefore no Swedish feeling to it. I definitely would have enjoyed the movie if it was a feel-good type of movie. More of your forget your problems for a couple of days and have fun. And it be true to the real holiday tradition and culture. Okay, this person is very obviously a member of the Harga cult and is trying to trick us into coming to their village and attending the festival. Nice try, motherfucker.